Biryani. What a strong love affair we have with the biryani, right? And once again, in 2022, it was Indians' favorite go-to dish. That's as per the data revealed by both the food aggregators, Swiggy as well as Zomato, as 2022 came to a close. Indians on both those apps are ordering biryani every 2 to 3 seconds. Zomato said a biryani was ordered, 186 biryanis were ordered every minute.
Well, yes, the most ordered and the eaten dish of 2022 in focus is biryani. Now, for the 7th straight year, it has been topping all the charts, be it Swiggy, be it Zomato. Almost 2 to 3 biryanis have been ordered per second in the year 2022 itself. But now let's look at the business aspect of it. The entire biryani industry expected to grow at almost 11% on a compounded basis. And now if you see the organized segment, their market cap is expected to come in almost 3,000 odd crore rupees. But if you see the market size of the unorganized segment, there is a wide range between 25 to 32,000 crores in this market. Now, of course, it is giving a very tough competition to the pizza, which is emerging as well. Now, apart from the business side of it, there are important brands which you see in your everyday life. And now these brands include, from Rebel Foods, we have Behrouz Biryani, Biryani by Kilo, Ekdam Biryani, as well as Biryani and Beyond, and recently launched Art of Dum. Now, these are the biryani brands which are very prevalent, especially in the cloud kitchen space as well. Now, looking at that, let's look at some industry numbers. India's food industry is expected to go in up almost 9%, and by FY25, expected to touch 6.5 lakh crore rupees. And if we take the takeaway industry of India, that is expected to go for a compounded growth of 12.2%, greater than the entire food industry in India as a whole. And by FY25, almost it will become a market of $18.1 billion. So biryani becomes a very strong bet in the business as well as to satisfy your hunger.
The question we're going to ask today is, can biryani get even bigger? Look at the way we're talking about India overtaking China when it comes to the population. Look at NRI diaspora. Can biryani also beat the burger as well as the pizza? That's right. Can biryani rule the culinary roost globally? That's exactly what I'm going to be discussing with my guests who are joining us here. Vishal Jindal, the founder of Biryani by Kilo, as well as Mohammed Ball of House of Biryani. Thank you, gentlemen, for being here with us. I don't know, I think I might wake up quite an appetite once this interview is done. Vishal, coming to you first. Happy New Year. Once again, look at the numbers that are coming in. Biryani getting bigger and bigger every year. Will it be the same in 2023?
No, of course it can get bigger. See, first of all, India is getting bigger, then F&B is getting bigger, then of course biryani is getting bigger. So biryani today is around $3 to $4 billion market in a 70-80 billion dollar F&B. So I think the market share is going to that 70-80 billion in the F&B market is growing in double digits, first of all. Then the delivery market is growing in double digits. And then, of course, biryani is growing. So I think overall, we should see excess of 20% plus growth in biryani category itself for 2023 over 2022.
Okay, so that's Vishal of Biryani by Kilo, expecting a 20% like growth. But Mohammed, coming to you now. I know we also, of course, talking a lot about to you folks because you're also running dark kitchens and cloud kitchens to actually deliver India's favorite dish, the biryani. Mohammed, how can biryani maintain its edge? Because at the same time, what we're seeing is the hamburger get more popular as well as the pizza here in India.
So I think one of the challenges, or I think one of the key things biryani as a category still has to do is be a brand that is available pan-India. I think there's only one brand which has done that very well, which I think testament to all the execution skill of Vishal and his team. But if you actually see, biryani brands, even the big ones, they are very, very geographically located. I think one of the key things that I think that biryani needs to do is, and which is not possible, is there is nothing called as a universal biryani. What works in Bombay does not work down south and is very different in Delhi and it's very different in East. So, I think that is one of the key things biryani as a category needs to tackle, which can unlock growth for one brand and to become as popular as a burger and a pizza throughout the country.
Okay, that's a very interesting point that you're making, that you need biryani to be universal. If it can beat the pizza and the hamburger globally, Vishal, do you agree with that? Because while we talk about the need for a universal biryani, look at the pizza itself. There is no universal pizza. You can have a pepperoni pizza, a margarita pizza. You can change the toppings. You can change the crust as well. You can have thin, you can have wood-fired, you can have thick crust.
So, Hyderabadi biryani, if you see Swiggy Zomato numbers, and our numbers also say the same. Hyderabadi biryani would be the highest, like 70-75%. Then Lucknowi is maybe 10-15%. Then, Calcutta would be another few percent. And then you have the Guntur, you have the Dindugal. So it's these tastes have been etched in people's memories and taste buds for hundreds of years. So you can't really make a universal biryani. So we at Biryani by Kilo, we have 4 different styles, which is Hyderabadi, Lucknowi, Calcutta, and Guntur. And I think that is, the market reality. And in pizza also, if you really see, you have a thin crust, you have a pan crust, and different kind of, cheese toppings. So it will be difficult to do a one size fit all. But someone who's specializing in biryani like we do, I think it's a given that we do 4 styles of biryani at least. And when we will be going Tamil Nadu or Kerala, we should do a Malabar or Dindugal as well.
Okay, Mohammed, since you are the one propagating the fact that you need a universal biryani so that the biryani can also beat the pizza and the hamburger globally, let me just ask you this one question. We've all debated about it. It always breaks the internet too whenever there's a conversation around it. Is a veg biryani even a biryani, or is it a pulao?
So we do at House of Biryani do have these kinds of biryanis, but what I was trying to get at is biryani is a very personal thing, right? What is biryani for me cannot be biryani for you. And if you actually notice, this does not really happen as a problem with a pizza or a burger. I mean, on majority, people will agree with a McChicken burger up north and down south and even in the west. But when it comes to biryani, we are all very different. Some people love aloo in the biryani. Some people just jump off their seat and squirm with the thought of an aloo in the biryani. So what I meant was a universal biryani means a format in which I think consumers can decide what biryani means for them. And as a brand, how do I address that in these different markets in the country?
So, Mohammed, while we discuss all of this, I've got to ask you this. Just look at India's own population, India's own love affair with the biryani. Look at the NRI diaspora. Look at just the way India is also supposed to be overtaking China. Given all of this, why is it that biryani is already not beating the pizza and the hamburger globally?
So this is a never-ending debate, Narendra, and I think my view is slightly shifting. And why my view is shifting on this debate, let me just articulate that, is if we want to take Indian food global, I think very counterintuitive, but we need to get off the whole authenticity horse that we put Indian food on. This whole authenticity pedestal that we put Indian food on needs to come off. And I think one of the ways we can do that is by ending this debate whether veg biryani is a biryani or a pulao. At the end of the day, what is that vegetable doing? It's just substituting a protein, which could have been chicken, which could have been mutton, which could have been anything, and appealing to a set of users who love their food, love their biryani with that protein.
So see, I think if I can respond, Mahendra, biryani is technically the difference between biryani and pulao is biryani is dum cooked in a closed vessel to capture the aromas and flavors. So we dum cook our veg biryanis the same way we dum cook our non-veg biryanis. And we are very proud of our veg biryani, our katal biryani, our paneer biryani, or chole biryani. They are very popular and we have more than 25% share in our revenues from veg biryanis. And we're very proud of our veg biryanis and veg kebabs. And we are continuously increasing the offering in veg. And like I said, it is dum cooked in the handi, the veg biryani, the way we dum cook our non-veg biryani, and we deliver it in the same handi. So I think I encourage everyone to, I think there are great feast are the veg biryanis.
Okay, maybe we need a change in packaging, quick service is what you're basically alluding to. And with that, let me come to you, Vishal. Your entire USP is that the biryani is going to be delivered fresh, piping hot, the handi. Do you agree with the point that Mohammed is also making, that maybe it's time to revisit that packaging and the way it is served, whether it's a Chipotle or a McDonald's for biryani? Basically, do we need like a Haldiram for biryani?
I think one of the reasons why it's not is because it's been shoved into a mold. It's been put in a box, and I think Vishal over here would agree, and probably I think BBK is doing a great job because they're not just providing taste but also an experience. I think one of the things that we need to do is take it out of a box. With reference, just let me point out to you what Mexican food was before Chipotle came and now what it is. I think at a global stage, we are missing a format in which a user can create a product that suits his palate, his likes, his dislikes, and build it from there.
But there's no question of the fact that competition is intensifying, right? There's Biryani by Kilo, there's House of Biryani, the two guests that we have on the show, but just look at the way the others are throwing their hat in the ring. ITC, it's luxury restaurant, Dampuk, which also now has cloud kitchens for you to get biryani delivered to your home. You have the likes of Domino's, Jubilant Foodworks that are also looking at biryani. So Mohammed, the question is it going to be a multiple winner-take-all market?
So I think I'll answer it in a different way. I think I don't want to label it by a QSR or a Haldiram. See, the time for biryani has come. That is for sure, and we are seeing it in numbers in food delivery, in Biryani by Kilo's numbers, Zomato Swiggy numbers. So biryani probably sells like Zomato Swiggy numbers for last year sells much more than pizza per minute. Right now, I think so definitely the growth rate is much bigger. And it's just a matter of time in terms of category size, or the biryani companies will be bigger than pizza companies. It's just a matter of time in India. That trend is very much there. And see, we are very, clear to take biryani to the rest of the world. Like it's India's hard power is already now apparent in the world in these times. Like this is the country to be in. And our soft power through biryani would be also there in the next few years in the rest of the world. So the formats can be very different, from a frozen biryani to a QSR to this to that. But we are at Biryani by Kilo, we are committed to taking it in the most authentic way to the rest of the world also, through master franchisee or joint venture routes. But the time has come, that's very clear. The formats need to be seen how it will go.
Absolutely right. It's not a winner takes all like Vishal just mentioned a while back. There are going to be many different cuts and ways of doing it. At House of Biryani, the way we do it, see, at the end of the day, my just one point is, at the end of the day, the younger audience, the Gen Z, the millennials, my view is, and I could be wrong, time will tell. At the end of the day, people care about taste. As long as it's tasty, and as long as you can give optionality, and there is convenience, I believe this is the bet that we want to take as an organization with the format.
Mohammed, since you're bringing up Gen Zs also love being healthy. So will the biryani therefore evolve for their taste buds and what they consider to be appetizing? I'm talking about vegan options, quinoa, red rice.
Correct. I think very small market, but don't be surprised, very soon where you have a lot of vegan options on the menu. Jackfruit is one ingredient which was niche earlier, but now there are many brands who are doing it. So as time passes, I think you're going to see a lot more optionality, not just in the protein, but also in the flavors of the biryani. Like when it comes to Hyderabadi or a Lucknowi, there's only one set of spices or a root that is there, but not anymore. You have something called as a butter chicken biryani. Then you have different flavors of kepsa rice that are there. So there's going to be a lot of mix and match that is going to happen. And at the end of the day, we believe that, as long as it's tasty, it will kind of make it a little more approachable, even in the global play, where people are going to care about, is it tasty, is it yummy?
Vishal, let's also talk about the price point, right? If you're going to talk about the biryani beating the hamburger and the pizza, will the price points have to come down?
So there is not much difference if you really see. See, we sell a half kg handi biryani for closer to 400 rupees, let's say. So two people can eat in it. So per person price is still 200. Or we have a single portion handi which is maybe 250 to 280. So a single. So if you see, I would say pizza is more expensive than biryani. Really speaking, if you are ordering a pizza for five people, I think as long as you're not ordering a personal pan pizza for 50 rupees, most of the pizzas like 12 inches are, few hundred rupees for 500 rupees and probably two, three. So I would say biryani is probably similar price or even cheaper than pizza for that matter. Burger is of course a different, I would put it slightly in a snackish category. But and also biryani is healthier. It is gluten free, compared to a burger or pizza. It is more aromatic, flavorsome. I think it's a complete meal, and people are seeing. And I don't think it's really expensive than pizza at all.
Guys, whichever way you look at it, it's also got carbs, a lot of carbs.
Pizza and burgers, neither you're getting carbs and you're getting gluten. At least in biryani, you're getting carbs and especially complex carbs compared to simple carbs. And so it's simple, complex carbs in biryani versus simple carbs in pizza or burgers, and very less gluten. So it's much more healthier. And it's a comparison.
Okay, so of course, both of you saying biryani is healthy. We leave it to our viewers to decide whichever way you look at it, healthy, not healthy, whether it's healthy the pizza or the burger or not, whichever way you look at it. We love the biryani, and we're going to see the biryani get only bigger. That's the consensus over here. Interesting point to see whether globally it can beat the pizza and the hamburger.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, I don't know about you.